Salutare, ne aflăm la Climate Change Summit și îl avem alături de noi pe Oliver Bolton, un antreprenor cunoscut pentru munca sa în sustenabilitate și pentru că este un promotor al economiei circulare. Hi, nice meeting you. So let me ask you this. How has the landscape for companies that produce sustainable products has changed in the last few years?
I think that there's been growing demand for sustainable, lower impact products. I think what's been really interesting is there hasn't necessarily been like an increased price related to more sustainable products, because that's typically been a barrier that stopped people purchasing, things that are better for the planet and better for us. So, yeah, I think people can afford it, and there's the choice. They will go with the better quality, more environmentally friendly thing that they're looking to purchase.
What are the main obstacles to developing sustainable products at scale?
Yeah, I think like if we're looking at plastics, for example, and so I know this because I've got a friend that has a popcorn company, and so they use foil bags.
Yeah.
And the challenge that they're desperate to move away from it. The challenge that they face is the properties for plant-based alternatives just don't protect the products, and the shelf life is like 1 month rather than 1 year.
So it's not very long term.
Yeah, so it's like the technology is still developing. But what he's doing, which is really interesting, is they're grouping together other companies that use foil packets. They're coming together and they're saying to manufacturers, look, between us, we have demand for this big amount. If you can find us a solution that gives us 6 months shelf life, protects the integrity of the food, then we will purchase this from you. So helping them de-risk their innovation and their R&D by bringing together multiple companies that make a commitment to purchase the more sustainable, well, in this case, foil-based crisp packaging.
So help us help you. It's a circular.
Yeah, and they know if they can develop it to a certain price point, then they're going to have the demand to make it commercially viable. So I think that doing things like that can really help grow the innovation that's needed to make the improvements that we need.
Can you discuss how you encourage consumers to adopt more sustainable habits?
Yeah, I think it's, look, for at Earthly, we're very focused on businesses, but, from a personal perspective, the thing that I'm always talking to people about is where's your money being spent? Who's your pension provider? Who do you bank with? And, firmly believe that's one of the biggest impacts that we can make is by giving our money to the right people who are investing it into companies that are not harming our environment and the planet. And I think also, it's important that we reduce our personal negative impacts, and we, improve the way that we live. But recognizing there's also great value to be had with political pressure, choosing businesses that align with our values, and moving our purchasing away from those companies that don't reflect the values that we care about as well.
So basically, we have to make, all of us, small changes, and this will create a bigger impact, and we'll move towards other.
Whilst at the same time pushing for political progress, and
this is where the change comes.
And I think that's the most impactful way forward for us to all work on.
How do you assess the social and environmental impact of the products you launch?
Yeah, so we have an assessment that screens nature-based projects, around 106 quality indicators, and a third are carbon, a third is biodiversity, and a third is social. So on the social side, it's looking at things like, is the community involved and engaged in the project? What percent of revenues from the project goes to the community? Is there free and prior informed consent? And what we found is if a project integrates the community into it and it fairly remunerates the community, then its chances of long-term success are much, much higher. On the biodiversity side, it's looking at things. Has a baseline assessment been made? What reporting are they doing? What's their biodiversity net gain plan? And so, about 35, 40 different indicators for biodiversity and about 35, 40 for social.
And the final question, what role do partnerships play in achieving sustainability goals for your business? I think it ties down.
Well, I think the example I gave with the crisp packet, that's it's great of people coming together to instigate change. And in my industry, we have companies coming together who maybe couldn't afford to create a new nature-based project on their own because it's $1 million investment.
Yeah.
But we have 10 companies coming together and they can all contribute £100,000 and then, group together essentially. We also find that through partnerships, if a company is clear about the types of partner they want, and if they want their partners to achieve certain minimum sustainability, environmental requirements, that could be a great way for sort of filtering through and sort of trickling through change amongst their supply chain. So by saying, look, we want our partners to do X, Y, Z with regards to sustainability and environment, and you have a year to do it, that gives their supply chain a chance to kind of improve and evolve, has a ripple effect of kind of positivity through their supply chains, which I think is really powerful as well.